her would-be attackers. But with a shrug, she turned and started to walk away. But that droning returned again. And where there were 6 putties, there were now 12. Math is hard. Oh, great. She needed to call for backup, and she was about to, but from the sky a familiar-looking staff slammed into the ground, and a green aura covered the area. And the line she would have used to contact her friends went dead. Not even Zordon could see what was going on.
Ah! Trying to call your friend's Pink Ranger. Ha! You can't. I've cut you off from the world now. No one can even see you, let alone hear your cries for help.
I'm terrified.
Well, that voice, that gravely voice she heard so many times before, caused the Pink Ranger to spin around. And standing a few yards away was Rita Repulsa. Her fists tightened on her bow as she quickly... Yeah, her fists tightened on her bow, and as quickly as she could muster... Wow. As she could muster, he tried to get a shot off the ancient witch. All right? But quickly, there were puttied holding her arms and legs. They were dumb as a box of rocks, but they were as strong as 2 men.
And now,
what do you want, Rita?
Now we're going with original Rita, right? Not Elizabeth Banks, hot, sexy Green Ranger Rita, right?
Of course.
This is original, big old, pointy Cohen bra, original Rita, yeah.
Yeah, this is original.
After 10 years, I'm free! Yeah. What do you want, Rita?
Earth.
She yelled at the old woman as she tried her best to fight her way free. Her bow and weapons tossed aside, but her muscles burned, and no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't break free.
All right. What do I want? Well, I want you, of course, pretty Pink Ranger. I don't have a very high voice. It's not going to come out.
I would like to
She
hear it
laughed
now.
again. What do you want?
Oh, wow.
That made
That's
me
as high as it gets. She laughed again and started to make her way over to where Kim was being held by her loyal, mindless putties. She stopped and leaned forward so she was mere inches from the Power Ranger's face. Fingers traced over the helmet down the neckline and between the budding breasts of the 21-year-old Ranger.
Thank you.
It is time I show you who is really on top. And it is not you. Pin her to the ground. Is it me? You want me to keep going? Who's going next? Should I keep going?
Nah,
Got it.
Miss Amaris, your turn.
Yeah. Rita laughed yet again. Kim's heart sank as the putties forced her to the ground, holding her arms and legs so tight she could hardly move. Rita circles the prone Power Ranger a couple of times, admiring how a plan could actually go right now and again. And then from her robe she produced a knife. This is getting rapey real quick.
It is.
This knife is called Ender of the Ages.
It has plus 3 dexterity and plus 7 to strength and stamina.
Roll for initiative. This knife is called the Ender of the Ages. It has the power to cut through almost any material in the universe, including your armor. Kim's eyes widened as she saw the blade glisten in the moonlight. Fear gripped her heart. She never once thought that she would die fighting evil. It was always like some sort of fun game. Are you gonna kill me?
Kim stammered a bit, her eyes locked on the knife the witch was holding. She tried even harder to get free. She didn't want to die. Not tonight. Not like this.
No, my pretty little Kimmy. I'll get you and your dog and that horsecock you fucked earlier. I'm not going to kill you, though you may wish you were dead.
And with those words, the witch bent down and traced the blade along Kim's neckline, a wicked grin on her lips and malice glowing in her eyes. And carefully she slipped the blade so that he needs to learn the proper pronouns, so that he caught a bit of the flexible armor on the tip, and she cut right through it, as if it were just fabric and nothing more. Well, the original costumes were
right?
fabric.
This plastic.
That little tear was increased in size, the knife tracing down her neckline, across her chest, and all the way down to her inner thigh. This was worse than being killed. What was the witch going to torture her? What was the witch going to torture her? What was the witch going to do? Torture her? There, I fixed it. Sell her to Goldar as a sex toy? Her heart raced and tears streaked down her cheeks as she awaited her punishment. She dare not struggle because she didn't want to get stabbed. The knife would split her open like she was nothing but tissue paper.
The witch laughed as the Pink Ranger's armor was pulled away, leaving her in nothing but her helmet, a white sports bra, and white cotton panties.
She matches.
Yeah.
This sounds
no
like...
one to show you. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I was about to say, this does sound like somebody's sick fantasy, you know. Hey, honey,
Yeah.
can you wear just this Power Ranger helmet tonight, please?
You know, a little bit, yeah.
The white with the white.
Just don't
Leave
get
the
anything
boots
on.
on.
Just don't get anything on it. That's from Sideshow Collectibles.
I gotta bring
No!
outlet tomorrow.
No one to show off for Pink Ranger! Rita laughed again as the knife was placed back in her robes, her ancient fingers tracing over the 20-something soft flesh,
Yes.
goosebumps forming in their wake. Despite her age, Rita's fingers were soft and well kept. Her touch caused a sharp intake of breath from the Pink Ranger.
I moisturize.
My, what a lovely little thing you are!
For a
A dark
21-year-old.
look- Yeah, yes. A dark look cast to the face behind the helmet. Sure. Before the witch removed the bra. How? Exposing Kim's front clasp. It was a front clasping bra.
But it was a sports bra.
Hmm.
Can the lady who's on with us explain this? Because I have never worn a sports bra
Unless she needs the knife
in
again.
public. Yeah, I've never
Yeah,
worn
I
one in
think
public.
the ogre forgot what bra was going on here.
Well, I'm gonna imagine that she has quite perky boobs. And for a 21-year-old, she probably has a front clasping, moisture wicking bra.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. We'll
If
roll.
those exist, we'll take your word for it.
We'll roll with them.
Exposing Kim's perky and soft breast to the night air, her nipples becoming hard almost instantly. Another sharp breath was taken by the 20-something. Rita's grin only broadened as she heard that. Her fingers traced over the pert nipples, gently caressing each one, twisting just a little bit. At first, Kim resisted, but when the witch was teasing her second nipple, a soft moan could be heard from underneath the helmet.
Pterodactyl.
Oh boy. So you like that, do you?
Tiger sword.
Rita's tone was amused as she continued to caress the lovely 21-year-old's perfect pink nipples. And slowly she leaned forward, her tongue snaking out from her lips. And slowly she licked each nipple. And as hard as Kim tried to fight it, she moaned softly again.
Tyrannosaurus.
And then, as the witch's teeth grazed each one, she gasped
Ay, 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 ay.
and squirmed under her captors. She's
You had to bring Alpha up, didn't you? Oh, boy.
She has had sex before.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy has to stay interested somehow, but it never felt like this.
So Kim,
Looks
how
like
was
the
your
Pink
sex life?
Ranger. Looks like the Pink Ranger is nothing but a whore, right, putties? Okay.
Oh, God. Alright.
They've got the perky nipples that you've never seen before.
Seem to
All
laugh. They seemed to laugh, though one could never tell because the same sound always came out of that mouth. But they were simply henchmen. One could not expect anything more.
True.
True story. Rita moved down the 20-something's body, licking here, nipping at the flesh there, all the way down until she came to the line of her white panties. They're boy shorts, I'm imagining. And then she slowly inhaled Kim's scent and started to laugh again.
I'm kind of wondering though, didn't the Rangers always wear the color of what Ranger they were? So shouldn't she have like pink panties on?
Yep, she should have.
She should have.
Bleach.
She's out of
Oh,
uniform.
Ogre would have misstepped.
I'm
They
over.
probably didn't do the laundry right.
You got the greatest line ever. Is this one? Wait, where are we at now?
Oh no, I think I'm gonna get the
literally-
greatest line ever.
Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, you really like this, don't you, Kimmy? I'll just keep going.
Yeah.
In response, the Pink Ranger started to try and fight again to free herself from the witch's bondage. It only brought Rita more satisfaction. And with emotion, Kim's panties were ripped from her form and tossed aside, leaving her moist, shaved pussy exposed for the witch to admire.
What a lovely pussy you have, Pink Ranger.
Wow.
If I was a man, you would make my monster grow.
Nope. Hold on. Everybody at home, let's take a minute here. You should be standing and applauding that line. That was fantastic. Well done.
And what a read.
Yep.
Read was
Well done.
perfect. I was hoping you'd get that one, man.
Oh, what a lovely tea party.
A sort of growl left her throat as her tongue parted the lips once more, and she gave a good long lick to the 20-something's wet slit. Oh, it's been centuries since she had tasted sweet 21 or something of that age's pussy juice. She forgot how good it tasted.
Oh my God, you got the Fort Knox of paragraphs.
I've got a little something to show you, Kimberly.
Rita stood up and started to laugh as she threw her robes aside. Underneath she wore nothing but a solid black strap-on.
Yes! Yes!
Oh, I love it. This is almost as good as the horse one.
Her body was that of a goddess. Her skin toned and her body fit. Her breasts were C-cup, perky C-cups, with dark nipples that were standing erect. Kimberly's eyes simply widened as she gazed upon the beautiful creature. That was not what she was expecting to see at all when she imagined Rita without her robes. All she could do was stare and admire, and then her helmet was ripped off by the putties, and she was forced to sit up.
Oh, well, this is a decent line for me, too. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Let's all take a minute. Let's all take a minute to revel in this, okay?
Censor.
I'm putting the cap back on my soda because I don't want to pull this out my...
Open your mouth unless you want me to do this dry. Oh, boy. At first, Kim refused, simply glaring back at Rita, hate burning in her eyes. Rita glanced to one of her putties, and it held her head firmly while another plugged her nose, and soon she was gasping for breath. And at the moment that mouth opened, that fake cock was shoved into her mouth and her nostrils were released. It was 8 inches long and toe inches thick.
It's like a tow truck. It's as thick as a tow truck.
Thick as a tow bar.
Taking up a bit of the Ranger's mouth. I would say all of her mouth.
Fuck your
Though-
Take it up a bit. Just a bit.
Just a bit of the mouth.
Hey, Chief, fuck
Though
your,
it was
Chief,
only
fuck your toe. Fuck your toe.
Though it was only a little larger than the Green Ranger, so she could take it.
I thought
After
that she didn't immediately vomit crap on the second it hit the back of her throat. I called...
She's got no gag reflex.
after a
Just
few
talking
minutes,
out of school about the Green Ranger in this, huh? It's out of nowhere.
after a few minutes, her eyes fluttered and she was working that shaft with her mouth like a pro. Every time she swallowed the cock, every time she swallowed the cock is pressed into Rita's own cunt. Well, that kind of came out of nowhere, causing her to moan just a little bit. This went on for only a few minutes.
Ah! Get her ready!
All right. Oh, I can't wait. Rita said as she pulled the fake cock from the Ranger's mouth, and the putties did as they were commanded, and they lifted Kimberly off of the ground. They spread her legs wide so that her pussy was fully exposed. The witch only grinned. Then there was no preparation before the dildo was shoved in to the 21-year-old's tight cunt. Can I say cunt? That's the only time I get to say that, so I'm going to say it with gusto. Cunts! Kim.
The